Hello, Josh Capellish here again with Old School and Offgrid. This is what we'll call for now our Hump Day segment of the week, where we talk about different philosophical topics and things that are of debatable intent. So, what I want to do is talk about what Old School and Offgrid is and what it's not, I guess. It's basically me and my dog starting out and sharing our journey over the past 3 years, and then I guess living in a camper and in different areas and tiny homes, and now transitioning to a bus. We've got the tiny home over there and different elements, so in the truck. But anyway, so old School and Off-Grid is basically an accumulation of my experiences and ideas for the future and how we can live a more balanced life as humans and think about things of, I guess, the greatest importance for our happiest and most balanced well-beings and independent self. We have the spirit self and our physical self, and then what our perception of reality is, in accordance with other people's perceptions of the same reality, and how we differ on that. And so when we go old school and off grid, essentially old school means to get back to our roots in a philosophical and physical way, balancing ourselves with new ideas and information to at least open our idea of what life is and what's important and what can be. I've struggled with depression and different things in my life, but when I go back to nature and get my feet in the soil and get out in the woods, that's a special kind of bond that I think balances me out. I never kill myself or shoot myself or anything like that. I carry a gun pretty much all the time. Let me think here. And so I'd never harm anyone either with that. So, the only time I'd ever use a gun against someone is if they were causing harm to others, like, intent to kill or myself, and there's no other reason. But, you can shoot to wound. Let's see here. So, I think it's important to teach people about the safety of weapons. That one's unloaded. It's a gun. Whatever you want to call it. A little single shot 22 caliber. It's very old. So it's a family heirloom, and to me it means a lot. It's what would you say? It's basically just wood and metal, but at the end of the day, it's a little tool. It's a wood carving with some metal, and it does a task, just like driving a nail. It shoots a little bullet somewhere, and anybody can take a nail gun or any kind of something and hurt other people. But the idea is you're responsible for your own safety and other people's safety and responsibility, and that comes with education first and sharing information. So this is a sharing platform for topics that I think are important in today's society, where we're struggling with certain things like what's appropriate and what's not. So that's kind of what Wednesday's Hump Day segment is about. There's no time limit or script per se. I can get off topic on certain things, but like I said, right out here, there's a mountain and a field, and the grass is blowing in the wind, and it has a certain sound to it, and there's roosters over here. That balances me, and the weather's nice. And this morning I worked on a off-grid bus, basically right down the road, and so it's really cool to help my neighbors, but there's a unique little village aspect of it. You can learn more about that. I'm setting up different social media websites to keep everything updated. I've got oldschoolandoffgrid.com and .org, and I haven't set that up yet, but let me think. The YouTube channel is pretty much where it's at right now. And there's a Facebook page. I'll update that, I guess. So what else? Oh, Instagram. Let me think. Whatever's easiest for me at the time, and if I have reception, I'll update people that was something I cut off completely with social media, and how would you say, it's very difficult to run a successful business nowadays when you shut off social media and all apps and different things. So this part of what I'm doing here now is basically a communication of a lot of time and investment of I guess ideas and concepts that were applied and tested. So you know, I'm gonna try to make a difference, or basically die trying with this, and do good things for good people, and share my knowledge and what I've experienced. And I've done some unique, cool things, and try to do good things for good people. And I want to do more and more good things for good people. And embody that concept. So, yeah. So, anyway, I want to discuss God as the first law, nature being the second law, and 3, man's law being, priority. And those are the debatable topics of the day. God's law says that we must treat our neighbors as though we would want to be treated. And so when I go and work for my neighbor down the road, I have to do a good job, because that is my job, is to make sure that I'm doing my best with the intent of their plans and ideas. And it's really fun to execute that. So I really like building buses. I think that's going to be my thing, is building buses, and it's going to be super cool. Let's see here. So, we got some really cool projects that I'll be building, and I need a team to help out. So I'm going to assemble a team, probably through social media and contacts of people who want to help out with different projects, whether it's working on electric vehicles, custom old school electric vehicles, or hybrid or tribrid or quinsprid vehicles. My 72 K5 Blazer runs on 5 fuels, and then I've got a couple Opals that I want to convert to electric, and then let me think, other really cool concepts. So Magic School Bus. Like I said, I'll be transitioning from this camper to a school bus, so it's need to be working on one down there. That one's not going to drive again, so we just took out the wheel wells, the wheel humps on hump day. So let's see here. So different technologies that have allowed me to live the way I do and still interact with society is I have a little mobile hotspot. It's in my bag down there. Also my phone, obviously, and a laptop. I don't watch TV. I watch a lot of YouTube. I'd like to say that I have a YouTube university degree. And, pretty much nowadays you can get on YouTube and learn more information than you can in a classroom. Because, say, if you didn't catch a complex concept for the first time, if you're into higher learning, then, or if there was a speech or visionary problem in, say, a classroom type setting, in YouTube you can pause it and rewind it, and it's always available. So as long as you have an internet connection. And so what's important about living off grid is having pretty good Wi-Fi if you plan to do stuff, or have internet access somewhere. I guess if you patron a store, not just smooch off them outside, you can do that. But let me think here. So that's how I've gotten by. Little bits of internet here and there, but mostly just tethered to my phone. I've at the highest points have used 100 gigabytes a month. That's a lot. So anyway, let's see here. So for this stuff, I basically use my friend's internet and upload the video, because it takes forever if you try to do it on a hotspot, and if you lose the connection, then it sucks. But anyway, let's see here. If I had a little bit better internet spot, I was over there. It had a lot better internet, for the hotspot, but not right here for some reason. It's a little bit lower. So I want to share my experiences. I grew up out in the country in Wisconsin, and did a lot of fun stuff growing up, living out in the woods and things, camping out and things, and hunting, fishing, trapping, all that good stuff, building stuff, baling hay, working on farms and tractors, and let me think what else, off-roading and racing cars, and it's basically being a redneck. So it was a lot of fun. Yeah, so let's see here. Yeah, so when you're out in the woods hunting animals, you have to respect nature more than anything, because when you get still and quiet, the animals start to come back. You know, the birds, and then the squirrels, and then the rabbits or whatever's around, turkeys, and then deer. You know, so then you watch the woods progress, and you learn about the natural trails and where the deer feed and animals feed, whatever you're hunting, basically, or trapping. Trapping's pretty intense. So, let's see here. But yeah, one thing I did too is totally detached from time in terms of like relating to it, and that's kind of weird to some people. But what I'm saying is my spatial reasoning isn't on par with other people, I think, for some different reasons. But let me think here. I don't wake up with an alarm clock. I wake up every day whenever I need to, but without an alarm clock, because when I'm closer to the outside elements, I can sense the earth and basically wake up on time. And also with roosters crowing. I had a VA appointment, and the counselor, he said, "What time do you wake up every day?" And I said, "When the rooster crows." He's like, "What time is that?" I was like, "It's the same time it's always been, in the morning." He's like, "Well, what time?" I needed time to put in the computer, you know. He's like, and I'm like, "Dude," I was like, "Okay, well, let me tell you what time. In the summer, it's 5:30 because the sun, you know, basically comes up earlier." And I said, toward the fall time, it comes a little bit later, so I sleep in a little more naturally. And then in the winter, it's dang, I said about 7, you know. So I gave him, I was a little smart about it, and I was like, "Dude, are you kidding me? Like, that's how out of touch people are with reality and things. Like, they're so tuned into a time schedule. They're like on a belt clock, and I don't think that's the way people are. We're not manufactured to come about just, you know, here we are. It's, you know, like when I open my door, I hear the roosters. I can hear them through my windows. I live, you know, in this camper. There's little windows, and you can hear them, and it's the same time every day. It's like, it's the natural balance. We used to have hens and roosters so they could reproduce, and then have eggs for the family to eat. And then let's see here. So then they wake you up in the morning. When's a good time to get up? I don't know, when you can see. You know, sounds good to me. Warms up too, right? So getting up before the sun is up seems kind of odd, but I get it, you know. But then also sitting in traffic for 2 hours a day, I don't understand that. Breathing other people's exhaust, no. Man, see, I got the wind blowing in here. It's getting a little cold. I was working earlier, so it's pretty warm, but close that up. Got the cows out there. There's some tiny homes. My friend Brian's up on the mountain up there. There's mine I gotta finish. So, you know, I'll share all that stuff about how to build a tiny home and upload that stuff, information. I've got some videos and a lot of pictures. Let me think here. So, this is my big giant notebook, but try to stay on topic and have a structured, but maybe today, the Wednesday hump day thing, shouldn't be about structure. Just sort of get through the mission. And what I'm trying to say to people is, like, this is my experience of life, and you know, I want to share that with people because I have a lot of knowledge and I'm seeking wisdom, right? So then that's part of it. So sharing that journey, I've overcome a lot of obstacles in my life and struggles and failures. So learning how to fail is probably the most important aspect, at least at this point in my life. And I've failed plenty, so time to succeed again. And this is what I'm gonna do. And you know, this is a platform, and I'm gonna build and share and grow. I think that's the most important thing, is sharing too, and not trying to just profit off everything all the time. Giving back. And so for me, this is a way to reach a lot of different people, share what I've learned in life, and overcoming physical pain, you know, emotional pain, and what else? I don't know. Sometimes life sucks, you know, but yeah, you can make it through it. You got to get your head right and just say no to quitting. You know, you just can't quit. You keep going, and you just accept a new reality and build it. You know, say, all right, this is what I want to do. This is what makes me happy. If you don't know what makes you happy, you know, I guess you just gotta try to figure it out and survive until you can figure that out. You know, because at the end of the day, our life's, you know, not really up to us. It's up to God and taking care of other people, and we're here for a reason, all of us, you know. And yeah, if we work together, I think more. I mean, it starts with a smile, wave at somebody a day, and smile, and think about a joke and make somebody else smile. And just one a day, you know, that can change the world. And you know, imagine if we had a day of peace where nobody fired a shot around the world, or you know, just how about no wars, you know, but because there's not a lot of good that comes from shooting other people. You get shot back at, and get shot at back, and then you know, that's not good. So let me think here. So my idea, not with the gun here, is to protect oneself so much as to represent the idealistic freedoms that we share as Americans and our constitutional rights that have been fought for. And you know, I didn't go to war for my country to come back and have my rights taken away. It's not going to happen. So anyway, you know, and that's not a threat or anything. It's just the way of life as Americans we all share. I think one thing maybe we need to focus on more so than taking away other people's rights is like being more neighborly and saying hi to your neighbor. You know, I've lived in subdivisions where I didn't know people on the other side of the wall, you know, for like a year or two. I don't even know. And they didn't wave, man. They're just rude neighbors. And it's like, what do you do when you're in a house and your neighbors won't even wave at you? It kind of sucks. So, you know, that always bothers me. I guess when you wave at people or they don't wave back, that's just, like I said, I grew up in the country. It's like when you drive on roads for so long, there's nobody on them. When you see somebody, you just get all excited, I guess, or wave. Or it's probably somebody you know, both. But, you know, so even if, you know, I think it catches some people off guard, but it can't help, but it can't do anything but help, you know. But let me think. So, one thing too, I think that's important in life is music. Like this morning, I was pretty sore from welding yesterday in this cramped position, and so I stretched out and had music on and kind of did some yoga and dancing things, and then oh, it felt so good and had really good energy, and the sun was coming up, and you know, it just felt really balanced and good. And I think people need to be able to do that in life. And if you can't like dance and listen to music, I think like that's the rhythm of the earth and the nature, and music is vital to our human interaction, man. And like what separates us from animals is probably more so than anything is music. You know what I'm saying? Like a raccoon can't play a banjo. Although I'd like to see that, but I might have to YouTube that later. But maybe a cat can. But what I'm saying is, like, you know, their music is different. They have different speech rhythms, like all animals and fish and whatever. And we think we're a brilliant species. In reality, I think some other species are much more complicated than us. And we're just in our own world, perspectively. So, and they prospectively look at us as in our own world this way as well. So, you know, sometimes it's funny to think, well, animals don't work, most of them, and they get fed and watered and housed for free and get to reproduce and all that, and don't have to pay taxes or work, you know. And let me think here. they're the smart ones in this situation, because then we spend our lives toiling away to feed our animals and take care of them, right? But those lucky animals. But it's funny. They always get back. You know, an animal can love you. My dog, he's been with me every day for the past like 4 years, and I think that's important. Like 24/7, you know, not like every day, but you know what I'm saying. Like, I take him with me all the time to work and on road trips and all that sort of stuff. Went to the Golden Gate Bridge with him in that convertible truck, and he stayed in there. And yeah, man. So that's what it's all about. You got your dog. My boy Mac, he's a good boy. So he's very loyal. Animals are good. So anyway, I don't know what else to talk about. I'm getting tired and hungry, so I gotta end this video. But this is what Wednesday's videos are all about, is sort of an unrehearsed expression of what my feelings are about certain things, although, you know, restrained. You can't get totally belligerent on videos and different things and post negative messages. So my idea is to have good things to say and have a positive message. So rather than looking at the faults in one's society, one can look at the faults and present solutions, and that's what this platform does as well, is presents solutions through validated personal experiences and my personal experience, and ideas, and you know, different people's ideas, and sharing that. Like I said, it's a sharing platform, so it's a cool way to like help other people see a different way of living. You know, my thing has always been, I could always get a 9-to-5 and get an apartment somewhere and like plan out my life, you know, for the next 40 years. And when I retire, let me think, then you go travel the world, but you got bad knees, diabetes, your cataracts, you know, can't see, all this sort of stuff. And like, you missed out on the opportunity to live your life for what, you know, a big crappy house, you know, like in a car, a shiny little car. That's nice. What? You know, that's crazy. And I think my philosophy has been to challenge myself along the way and then not really know what to do with it. But this is sort of that expression of experience and like sharing that. Because, you know, I've pushed the limits a lot in my life, and I've learned a lot in that regard. And with respect to a lot of different things, I think it's important for me to share my talents, and you know, in order to preserve them, and also like, you know, hone my talents, you know, with other people's feedback. Like, I'm not going to be the best person at videoing. I don't even know if this stupid thing's recording. Hopefully it is. Otherwise, I'm just talking to the wind. Either way, it's video therapy, and that's good too, I think. And so, yeah, it's just going to be a good thing, I think. And I'm looking forward to a lot of organization and structure and framing of all these things, you know, accumulation of things. So I look forward to sharing that with you. I'm going to sign out. It's been great. Wednesday, Old School and Offgrid. Josh out.